Now we're going to look at how to create and utilize layer masks. So the first thing you're going to do is open your image. So we're going to go File, Browse in Bridge, and we are going to select two different images. The first one is Cottage, and then the second one is Hot Air. Holding down my Command and Control key, I select Hot Air, double click, and you'll see where Hot Air and Cottage are both now open in Photoshop. Go to your Hot Air image and select the entire thing. This can be done a couple of different ways. You can just go Command or Control A and then Command or Control C to copy, or Command Control D deselects. You could also duplicate your background layer and then hold down Command or Control and click in the thumbnail of layer 1 and it will select everything, and then you can hit Command or Control C to copy. Either way, you need to copy this image and we're going to paste it on the Cottage image. So to paste, you can go Edit, Paste, or you can simply hold down the Command or Control key and hit V as in Victor for paste. And you can't really see the image. This is because these two images are two different sizes. Command or Control T will transform that topmost image. Hold down your Shift key and then you see the double arrow in the upper left corner and just start bringing your image down. When it gets to about here, I'm going to let up and I'm going to move my image over. Hold down my Shift key, click and drag, bringing that image in, making it smaller. Click and drag it up. And we're seeing that this image was quite a bit larger. So I'm going to continue to make it smaller. Click and drag. And it's getting there. We're awful close. And so what you want to do is you want to make your image about 1/2 inch smaller in height than the Cottage image was. And I can see where I'm at right here. Here's 1/2 inch. So if it's easier for you, you can drag a guide down at the 1/2 inch point. And then transform your image to match the guideline. So this is what your image should look like right now. I can move this image around and this is what I'm seeing. So the first thing we did was we copied and pasted the Hot Air image onto the Cottage image, and then we transformed with Command or Control T, dragging the corners of our image in until we were able to reach 1/2 inch in the size of sky showing from top to bottom when we have the Hot Air image on top. So this is what you should see, is something like this right now. After you've transformed, once again, just hit enter to accept that transformation. Now, turn the Hot Air image off for now. So all I did was clicked on the eye to the left of layer 1, and now I'm going to select the background layer. First thing I'm going to do is duplicate that layer. So Command J to duplicate that layer. select the words background copy and rename them cottage. Click off or hit enter and it will accept your name of the layer. Click on the balloon image where it says layer 1, rename that hot air balloon. Hit enter or click off and that one is renamed as well. Okay, so now let's get into doing layer masks. We've kind of prepped the stage, if you will, for the layer masking. And essentially a layer mask allows you to hide certain parts of one image and show images and layers below that. That is what we are going to do with the hot air balloon image. Select the hot air balloon image. We're going to turn that back on. Click on that layer and we're going to add a layer mask. Now, a couple of different ways of doing this. You can make a selection and then hit the layer mask button down at the bottom down here and it will create the layer mask and put your selection automatically within it. Or you can just hit layer mask. So click on the layer mask button at the bottom of your layer panel. It's a square with a circle cut out of the center. And then you're going to select your brush tool. So with your brush tool selected, you're going to go to the control panel at the top and you're going to select a nice soft brush right here. Go ahead and set your brush size to about 100. And you'll want to have black as your foreground color. If you don't have black and white as your foreground and background colors, you can hit right next to this little double arrow here and it will make black and white your foreground and background colors, and then you can just select that arrow and it will bring black to the foreground. Once I have black in the foreground, then I can come to my image and I can begin painting out parts of the image. On a layer mask, you hide things by painting them black. What is left white in the mask is the part of the image that is going to show. What is painted black is going to become transparent and allow what is located beneath that on the layers panel to show. Black hides and white shows. So I have the black color selected and I am just going to start painting down here in the lower left hand corner. Now, what if what you see is something more like this? Or this? Well, that's a couple of different things. The blue was I hadn't changed my color to black and I was on the thumbnail or the original part of the image, which we can see over here on the thumbnail. I'm going to hit Command Z to undo. Don't freak out. If you were painting in black and you did multiple strokes, all you have to do is go to your history panel up here in the upper right hand corner and back up and just click on whatever step was above when you started painting black onto your image. Now, make sure that these little brackets are surrounding the layer mask, this little white box in your layers panel. That shows that the layer mask is activated and that is what you're painting on. So make sure you have that little frame outlining your mask. Then, using black, begin to paint on your image. And you're going to paint out the sky and leave only the balloon showing. And so see how I am just painting? I haven't gotten even near the balloon yet. Now, if you would like to make your brush size larger or smaller, that is very simple to do in Photoshop. You can simply hit the upper bracket key, the right hand facing one, to make your brush larger. The left bracket key is a shortcut key to making your brush smaller. So if I make my brush super large, that then makes it very easy for me to get a lot of this image done. But when I get too close to the edge of the balloon, look what happens. I start going into the balloon, and I don't want to do that. However, if I did, no problem. All I have to do is select white for my paint color and paint the balloon back in. The shortcut for switching between black and white is X on the keyboard. So I'm going to hit X on the keyboard, and I am going to hit the left bracket key to make my brush size smaller, and I am just going to paint the balloon back in. So, very simple to correct any mistakes as necessary. Now you can see I'm getting some of that original sky back, no problem. I hit X and I just start painting that out using my black color. So you can switch very easily from black to white as you need to. One thing with a soft edged brush, it makes it difficult to get nice, clean, straight lines. So you may decide that you would rather paint your mask in using a hard edged brush. That's fine, it doesn't matter. One good thing about Photoshop is there are hundreds of ways of doing the same exact thing, and not any of them are for the most part right or wrong. There are some best practices, but we're just going to get rid of this line here, so go ahead and get rid of all of that. And now hit V to select your move tool and move your balloon image over so that you can continue to remove the sky. And you're removing this line right here as well. So get rid of that line and get rid of all the blue sky and trees in the balloon image. So I have my black still selected, and I am just painting out those areas of the image that I no longer want to see. I do realize that I've got a kind of hazy edge around the edge of the balloon here, and I'll go in and fix that in a moment. Now with that big brush, do you see how I'm coming over the basket here and getting a lot more bleed than what I would normally recommend? That's pretty easy to take care of. I'm going to go over here to the right in my history panel and move up a couple of brush strokes. And then I'm going to go and I am going to select a hard-edged brush. So up in the left-hand corner, I click the drop-down menu next to my brush tool in the control panel and selected a hard-edged brush. Very easy to see the difference here in the tool panel. And then I'm going to zoom in on my image, and this is very easily done using shortcut keys. You can Command plus to zoom in on your image or Command minus to zoom out. So I am going to Command plus, and that brings me nice and close so I can see exactly what it is I'm doing. I'm going to get a brush size, and we can see immediately the difference in a hard edge brush versus the soft edge brush I was using earlier. Now what you should be using to do this is your Wacom tablet or whatever brand of graphics tablet you decided to purchase. You can go ahead and kind of do a rough job around the basket here, and I'll explain why in a moment. We're not going to see all of this basket, and we're not going to see any of this area over here on the left. So just kind of roughing that in gives you your balloon shape, but again, that's going to be hidden. You do want to pay close attention, however, to the left side of your balloon. So I'm going to go up here, Command Z to undo. I'm going to switch to white because I want my balloon showing through, and I'm going to clean up this edge here where I had painted previously. Okay, it's fine if it goes over the edge. I can just come right back. Main thing is I want a nice clean balloon edge. Hold my space bar down to move my image around. I get the move tool automatically holding the space bar. When I release it, it goes back to whatever tool I was using. Switch to black and just start cleaning up these edges. Now, once we've learned selections, this is an area that if you know how to use Photoshop, you would have selected the sky, and you would have made your mask with a selection, and things like this edge right here along the side of the balloon would have already been taken care of for you. I'm going to give you a few minutes, pause the video, and go and finish up getting a nice clean edge to the left part of your balloon image here. When you have that done, then continue playing the video. Okay, and for the next part, we're going to look a little more in depth at layer masking and some of the options you have utilizing a layers mask.